911, where's your emergency?
I can't find my daughter.
Okay, when was the last time you seen her?
We were here at the park and people said that probably somebody took her.
Welcome or welcome back, and thanks for being here. I'm Cassie, and this is A Wicked World. If you haven't checked out A Wicked World on Patreon yet, and want to have early access to videos, as well as access to over 60 Patreon exclusive videos, with new ones being added each month, then make sure you check that out now using the link in the description box below. The story I have for you today is a rather bizarre one about a little girl who mysteriously and silently vanished from a playground right in the middle of the day. This is the story of Dulce Alavez. Dulce Maria Alavez was born in New Jersey on April 25, 2014. To her mother, Noema Alavez Perez, and her father, Edgar Perez. She was a sweet, loving, caring, and spunky little girl. Dulce loved watching the movie Frozen, while at the same time dancing and belting out the song Let It Go. She also enjoyed dressing up like a princess, and she was a great big sister to her younger brother, Manny. At the time Dulce was born, her mother, Noema, was very young, only 14 years old. So her own mother, Norma, took care of the little girl for the most part, and she eventually became her legal guardian. And at the end of 2019, Dulce's father, Edgar, was deported back to Mexico. Now, the little girl had just recently started kindergarten, and on the afternoon of September 16th, 2019, around 3 p.m., her mother was waiting for her to get off the school bus. She then took Dulce along with her younger brother, Manny, and Noema's 8-year-old sister Camila to nearby Bridgeton City Park. On the way, around 4 p.m., the family stopped at a local gas station to buy some ice cream, which is where the final images of Dulce were captured on security camera. From there, they drove 3 minutes to the park, which also has a playground. However, at the time, the playground was said to be closed off for repairs and only the swings were still open. Though Noema would later say in an interview that Dulce had been playing on the slides. When they arrived, the mother parked her car in the parking lot that was near the basketball courts, and Dulce, along with her 3-year-old brother Manny, jumped out of the vehicle and ran towards the swings. They were only about 30 yards away. Normally, Dulce's mother, who was 5 months pregnant at the time, would bring their dog to the park, and she would walk around the playground with him while keeping an eye on the children. However, this time she didn't. Instead, she stayed in the car with her 8-year-old sister, who was doing her homework, and during this time they also scratched a lottery ticket. So that day, Noema had promised Dulce that they would go to the park, since it was so nice out. But a little while before, she had actually changed her mind because she was feeling rather lazy. However, this was not something that Dulce wanted to hear, and she began giving her mother a hard time. So in the end, Noema had agreed to go to the park, but she sat in the car because she was feeling so tired. According to the mother, she could see the playground from where she was sitting in the vehicle, but the swings where her son and daughter had run off to were obstructed by a hill. It was reported that around 4:20 p.m., Manny came running back to the vehicle, and his sister was not with him. However, Noema would say that she noticed she hadn't heard or seen her children in some time, so she had asked her sister to get out of the car and go look for them. When Camila came back to the vehicle, she was in a panic, and she had Manny with her, who was crying. His ice cream was on the ground, and when he was asked where Dulce was, he just pointed to a nearby utility shed. But after Noema went over there to look for her daughter, she was nowhere to be seen. So she called up her brother who lived nearby and asked him to come down to the park and bring his dog as well to help look for her daughter. Then Noema asked a group of individuals who had been playing on the basketball court if they had seen Dulce. One person told her that they had seen the little girl running towards the building. And there had also been an African-American male standing nearby. Another child stated that they had seen a Hispanic man who had 2 young children with him. The thing is, there were no cameras located in the park, so there was no definitive way of telling where the 5-year-old had gone. At 5 p.m., about 40 minutes after she had noticed that Dulce was missing, Noema called the police and relayed to them the information that the people on the basketball court had given to her.
911, where's your emergency?
I can't find my daughter.
Okay, when was the last time you seen her?
We were here at the park and people said that somebody took her.
Okay. How old is she?
She's 5 years old.
Okay, and what park are you at?
Here in Bridgeton Park.
Okay, where at in the Bridgeton Park are you?
The one with the basketball court where high school is.
Okay, so you're at the basketball courts behind the high school?
Yes.
Okay. And what was she seen last wearing?
She was wearing, give me a second. I don't remember what clothes she was wearing, but she was wearing, I just remember her pants. She was wearing like a flowery pants and some heels, some white heels.
Okay. All right, ma'am, stay on the line. I'm going to transfer you over to the police, okay? And you said she was 5, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hi, did you see which direction your child went?
No, we were in the car. She came down with my son. They were running to the park, and then me and my sister, we came down. But when we got here at the park, she wasn't here. They said that my son was just crying with his ice cream. Because somebody threw his ice cream in the floor, and my daughter just ran away.
All right. You didn't see anyone else around there that she could possibly have went with?
No, not that I know of. Because we didn't saw no one. There's just some other people that they're here that said that they saw her running through some houses in the back. And they said that they saw two men. They saw a black guy and they saw a Mexican man with 2 kids.
Who's saying that they saw them?
Because there's people here in the basketball court that they saw her. They said that they saw her running.
They're saying that there's people there at the basketball court that they saw her running through some houses with 2 black males. She's light-skinned, Spanish. What color top does she have on?
I don't remember.
Okay. Are you at the basketball court?
Yes, I'm right here right now.
That's affirmed. She says that she's at the basketball court. And do you have your son with you, or is your son?
No, I have my son with me. They say he was crying when we found him. He was just standing there crying.
Oh, he was standing there crying. So you said that the black males took his ice cream?
No, they threw it in the floor. They had threw it in the floor.
So the 2 males took his ice cream and threw it on the floor, and then they left with your daughter?
Probably, because I didn't saw it. When we came and looked for her, we were looking everywhere for her, and we couldn't find her.
Her son was at the basketball court with her daughter, that there was 2 black males that took her son's ice cream and threw it on the ground and left with her daughter. Okay, well, we have the officers. Are you on Mayor Aiken?
I already have an officer here.
Okay. All right, go speak with the police, ma'am, okay?
Okay.
It wasn't long until there were over 30 officers with dogs searching the area for Dulce, but she was nowhere to be found. With Bridgeton High School just yards away from the park, And with an adult baseball game going on nearby, authorities estimated that roughly 400 cars had been in the area when Dulce went missing. Many locals soon came out to help look for the little girl. But this potentially destroyed any evidence that a kidnapper could have left behind, like footprints or tire tracks. Noema told authorities that her daughter would not have just wandered away on her own. She was not the type of kid who would do that. She had also taught Dulce that if anyone ever tried to take her or hurt her, she should scream really loud so someone could come to help. But there had never been a scream heard at the park that day, just silence. Additionally, the little girl's ice cream and ice cream wrapper were nowhere to be found, something that you think she would have dropped had there been a struggle. The bloodhounds that police brought in eventually would pick up Dulce's scent, but it ended at Burt Street, about 12 feet away from the storage shed. Now, for some reason, it wasn't until 10 p.m. the next day that an Amber Alert was finally issued for Dulce. In this alert, police said that it was believed that the 5-year-old was taken by a light-skinned, possibly Hispanic male, roughly 5 feet 6 inches tall, who was driving a red van. This man was thought to be wearing orange sneakers, red pants, and a black shirt. It was said that he had been in the park that day with 2 other children under the age of 5, and Dulce may have gotten into a vehicle with him. It wasn't long until the little girl's mother, Noema, began facing serious criticism for not watching her children better while at the park, and many began to blame her for what had happened. They additionally wondered why it had taken her so long to call emergency services. The FBI was also now involved in the search for the 5-year-old. Dive teams began looking in nearby bodies of water, while police used dogs and helicopters to try to locate Dulce. A reward for any information leading to the little girl's whereabouts was also now being offered. Authorities were able to get in touch with Dulce's father, Edgar, and they quickly ruled him out as a suspect. Then rumors began to swirl that the girl's mother had been arrested, but police would make it clear during a press conference that that was simply not true. Noema spoke publicly and tried to dispel any rumors that she had anything to do with Dulce's disappearance.
Today marks 2 weeks since the monster that took my daughter. On that day, my life changed for the worst. I have not been the same ever since. People are saying I have something to do with it. This and saying bad things about me. Please stop the rumors. Please stop pointing fingers when you don't know and we don't know who took her. I want to thank the law enforcement for searching and investigating, all the media for covering my daughter's case since day one. Also, everybody that has taken time out of their schedule to go out and look for her. All the prayers for my family and we all greatly appreciate it all. I beg you all, please don't give up on my Dulce. Let's keep pushing to find her safe. Please continue to pass along her pictures on social media and passing out flyers. Don't be afraid or call any tips. If you were here in the park that day, please double check your phone for pictures, and any little bit may help.
Mama, can you show us what you brought with you today?
I brought her favorite toy, Frozen. She loves to play Frozen. She always used to sing it. She always used to tell me to put her song Frozen, and everything. She always listens to it. She even has a dress, and she puts it on and thinking that she's Frozen.
For Elsa?
Yes.
How are you?
Worried about my daughter.
The fact that it's been 2 weeks today, can you share with us if you've reflected on what you might have done differently that Monday afternoon?
How?
Would you have done anything differently that day?
No. I just don't be going out that much, so now I'm scared. I'm scared of going out now because of people saying things and rumors.
But what I'm getting at is, take us back to that Sunoco. You stopped to get ice cream. Did anyone say anything to you at that store? Did anyone follow you from the store to the park?
No. No,
What do you think happened to your daughter?
I'm not sure.
Have you ever been bothered? Your children ever been bothered? Any custody issue?
No.
Everybody's very curious about Dulce's father. Can you tell us what you know as far as what's been going on the last 2 weeks since your daughter disappeared, as far as him? Has he come to the U.S.? Have you spoken to him? What
No.
can you tell us about him?
I haven't talked to him since that. But I had talked to him, but then we stopped talking.
Do you have a good
Prior
or bad
to her
relationship with
disappearance?
him?
We usually talk that much.
Do you think he's involved in this?
I don't think so, because he's in Mexico.
Is he still there?
Yes.
He hasn't come here? You
No,
know?
he can't because he doesn't have the money to come.
Noema, could you share with us what your son said to you when he ran back to the car?
He didn't run back to the car. He was just standing there, crying.
And what did he say in those initial
He doesn't
moments?
talk.
He doesn't talk.
No.
So he was crying.
He was just crying. When I went up to him and I asked him, where's your sister? He just pointed behind the buildings. That's it. Because he can't speak still.
Nearly a month after Dulce went missing, police released a sketch of a potential suspect whom they wanted to talk to. He was described as a slender male, possibly Hispanic, roughly 30 to 35 years old, standing 5 feet 6 inches to 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he had acne on his face. The man was seen wearing a baseball cap, a black shirt, orange sneakers, and red shorts, and he was driving a red van that had sliding doors. This has made many wonder how someone could have been close enough to this individual to see that he had acne on his chin, yet not close enough to know if he actually had Dulce with him. It's also never been said who it was that gave this description to police. The 5-year-old's disappearance soon gained national attention, and her mother, Noema, was invited onto the Dr. Phil show in December of 2019 for an interview. When she appeared, she was asked if she had any idea as to who could have taken Dulce. At that point, she mentioned an old friend who had tried to date her several times in the past, but she had always shut him down. The man had seen her and Dulce together recently and asked if that was her daughter, to which she replied yes. According to her, this man was one of the last people that saw Dulce. However, Noema would later tell another news station that she did not believe that this person had anything to do with her daughter's disappearance. And the only reason why she had mentioned him was because she was trying to answer Dr. Phil's questions. She also stated that police had previously given her a polygraph test, but they had never given her the results of it. Many believed that when Noema was on the Dr. Phil show, her demeanor was off. She did not seem that upset and didn't shed a single tear. Dr. Phil shared a similar sentiment, saying that she was one of the most emotionally flat parents with a missing child that he had ever seen. However, he also stated that this may have been due to her first language being Spanish, because when she made an appeal to her daughter in that language, her emotion was much more apparent. A woman named Jackie Rodriguez, who had previously been a spokesperson for the family, would speak about Noema on the show. She said that she had known the mother for years and had only seen her cry once. It was just normal for her to not cry. But Jackie also said that Noema seemed too calm, like she knew where her daughter was, and she knew that she was okay. Jackie, who now runs a Facebook page for Dulce's case, has claimed that Noema had a boyfriend at the time that Dulce went missing, the father of her 2 youngest children. And according to her, he was arrested the week after the little girl went missing on charges of essaying a minor, though it was unrelated to Dulce. It's also been said that he owned a red van. Another odd thing is that Dulce's grandmother, Norma, who said that the little girl normally loved school, had been crying that morning about not wanting to go. Eventually, her grandmother had bribed her with pizza, saying they could get some at the end of the day. But she had found this rather strange because Dulce always wanted to go to school. The search for Dulce continued for years with no results. Then come 2022, some cryptic letters began to show up in Ohio. There was one postcard that had been sent to a casino and racetrack that was near Austintown, Ohio. And it said, "Look for Dulce Alavez, age 5, kidnapped, Bridgetown, New Jersey. Look website for story photos. Dr. Phil. 76 truck stop, dead end street, entrance woods. Please look." 2 more letters were sent to a library and an ice cream shop in the area. All 3 were handwritten, and the postcard had a zip code from Mexico. However, authorities have said that they do not believe that it actually came from Mexico, but rather the person who wrote it just put that on there. The area specified in the postcard had been searched by officers, but they were unable to find any evidence leading to Dulce's whereabouts. One of the letters, the one that had been sent to the library, was rather hard to read, but it had keywords in it such as Alaska, Mexico border, 1776, Civil War, New England town, kids home, and orphanage. All these letters appeared to have been written by the same person, but they were eventually dismissed as nothing but a hoax. Many people think that Dulce's father, Edgar, may have had something to do with her disappearance, especially since he's in Mexico, and many tips that law enforcement have received have come from Mexico. There's also the fact that the little girl did not scream when she was taken, which likely means that she was taken by someone that she knew. As Dulce's 7th birthday approached, her father Edgar posted a video online, wishing her a happy birthday and proclaiming that he had nothing to do with her disappearance. This prompted police to reach out to him once again, but nothing further would come of it.
Hello everyone, my name is Edgar Torres.
In his own words, the father of Dulce Maria Alavez with a message on his daughter's 7th birthday.
I'm really sad and hurt. It's been almost 2 years.
According to police, her mother said she found Dulce's 3-year-old brother crying and her daughter nowhere to be found.
I don't know if my baby girl is okay.
Perez, who was deported in late 2018 and unable to see his daughter in the months leading up to her disappearance, professing to those who questioned his relationship with Dulce Maria that he took care of her from when she was a little baby.
I changed her diaper and did everything for her.
And denying claims he has her or knows where she is.
For those that think that I took my baby girl, let me tell you that I got nothing to do with it. Just like everyone, I want to know where she is.
Do you think he had something to do with her disappearance?
To be honest, I don't know, because I haven't seen them. I haven't talked to him.
Is there someone you suspect?
To be honest, no.
Noema remains convinced that her daughter has not disappeared forever, and she said, "In my mother's heart, I believe I'll see her again one day." According to her, she's been living a nightmare, and no matter how hard she tries, she can't seem to wake up from it. Noema stated, "Every night when I go to sleep, I'm like, God, please don't let this all be real. But then I wake up the next day, and it is. And it's been that way for me again and again, every single day since the day Dulce disappeared." Multiple candlelight vigils have been held for Dulce Alavez, who to this day has still not been found. Since her disappearance, her family has celebrated Dulce's birthdays and Christmases at Bridgeton City Park as they gather around Dulce's tree. If you have any information in regards to Dulce's whereabouts, please contact either the FBI or the Bridgeton Police Department at 856-451-0033. Well, thank you for listening to Dulce's story today. I think that someone that she knew had to have taken her at the park that day. There were no signs of a struggle, and no one heard a scream. I also feel like there's the potential that her mother knows more than she's saying. Like the family's previous spokesperson, Jackie, said, she seemed much too calm throughout the entire ordeal. But what do you think? Either way, hopefully Dulce's out there somewhere, safe and still alive. If you like true crime and you want to hear it from me, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications too, so that you'll know when I upload a new video, which is at least 3 times every single week. Thanks for watching A Wicked World today. Until next time, take care guys. Bye. Thank you to all the patrons of A Wicked World. Now, there's even more of A Wicked World on Patreon, so check it out on patreon.com/awickedworld, or use the Patreon app. You'll have access to exclusive videos each month and more. Any support truly helps to make sure the victims are never forgotten, and to highlight the shortcomings of society associated with each case. Do you have a suggestion for a story you'd like to see me cover? If so, send me an email to awickedworldtruecrime@gmail.com.